Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Christina, and on this channel, you'll find videos about how you can make money online and travel and reaching your full potential. So in this video, I'm gonna go over the intro video for your application to Outschool. I just wanna say really quick before I jump into anything that I have a ton of videos about Outschool and applying to Outschool. So if you're interested in applying to Outschool, go check those videos out. Also, I can be your referring teacher, so I'm gonna leave my application link below and my email below. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions at all. Okay, so for the intro video for Outschool, there has been an update as of July 2020. The intro video now has to be 3 to 5 minutes long. So I know in the past it was 30 to 90 seconds long, now it's 3 to 5 minutes long. In the intro video, they also want you to teach a sample of the type of class you're planning to teach on the Outschool platform. This video will be private and it will not be visible to families. The audience is the Outschool hiring team. Outschool says that the video is all about getting a quick read on who you are and the type of teaching environment you're going to be providing to students. Okay, with that said, I want to explain exactly what I'm going to provide to you guys today in this video. First, I'm going to go over some do's and don'ts. So please make sure you watch this first part very carefully because I see a lot of videos that don't have these things and I wouldn't want you guys to have your application rejected because of this. These are all things that you can control. And then in the second part of the video, I'm going to be going over the content of the intro video. So what you should actually say to the camera or the content you should actually share in the intro video. Okay, so let's dive into the filming logistics. So the very first thing I want to note is yes, you can film on your smartphone. The first tip I have for you guys is make sure when you're filming, you hold your phone horizontally. So just like this and not like this. The reason is that if you try to film on your phone vertically, then when you actually upload the video, there's gonna be 2 black stripes on the side of your video. So just keep that in mind. Second, you wanna make sure that you wipe your camera clean. Also, you wanna film with this camera as opposed to the selfie camera, okay? So when you're filming, make sure this camera is facing you. This camera is a little bit more powerful, better quality than the other camera. So just to make your video higher quality. And third, you wanna make sure to wipe the camera lens so that it's not blurry or smudged when you're filming. Okay, let's talk about where to film. So very important, you wanna be filming in front of a wall, just like I'm filming right now. So there shouldn't be open space behind you. There shouldn't be people walking behind you. You want to film in front of a wall. Also, Outschool is specifically looking for an educational background behind you. In the actual application, Outschool explicitly states that they want you to show off your background. So when you think educational background, you really just want the wall behind you to mirror a classroom. So if you're overwhelmed by creating an educational background, I have some helpful tips. You can get a map of the world behind you. I know that's something that I started off with. It was super simple, very, very affordable on Amazon. I will link to that map below. And just including things like a map or your name. Just make sure your background looks super neat and professional. It doesn't have to be intricate. Okay, so let me just mention where you do not want to film. So you do not want to film while you are sitting on your bed or you are sitting on your couch. Again, Outschool really wants to see the space that you're going to be using to teach the students. So they just want it to look really presentable and really professional. So ideally you are sitting at a desk, you have an educational background behind you, and your space looks nice and neat and clean. Also, very important, I want to quickly mention, please make sure that there are no competitor logos behind you. Okay, so some of you may be teachers for other platforms. I know I am a teacher also for VIP Kids. So be careful, this intro video is a little bit different and you do not want to have the logo of another online platform behind you. Why? Because you're interested in applying to Outschool, right? So even though I would say don't stress over the educational background, I do think it is important. I do think it's something that they may not approve you for if you don't have it. So make sure that you do work on it, but don't overthink it. And the reason why it's important is because they want to see what your classroom environment is going to be like. Make sure you do it, just don't overthink it. Okay, let's talk about audio. So make sure that they can hear you very clearly on the intro video. This is very important because this is going to be the way that you're communicating with your students. Of course, this video is for the Outschool team, right? It is going to be kept private, but it's important that there's no background noise. No dogs barking, no babies crying. You don't want anyone talking to you in the background. You don't want anybody on a phone or in the background. Make sure there's silence so that they can hear your beautiful voice on camera. Let's talk about lighting. So lighting is also something that is very, very important. So right now for this video, I'm using a ring light, which is directly shining light on my face. If you don't have a ring light, use a lamp, or even better, use a window. If you want to buy a ring light, I'm going to link the ring light that I'm using below in the description box. You can get it on Amazon. I do think it's a good investment, especially since you're going to be teaching online classes. You know, you are going to be getting reviews from parents and students, and lighting is something that they take into account. I would say just get a ring light, but if you really can't afford one, some other tips are to film during the day. So if you can film early in the morning, or if you have a window and there's a certain time when the sun is just shining through that window, then that would be a great time to film. Just a little tip with the window. I know some people get a little confused as to how to utilize that light. Make sure you're not filming in front. What I mean by that is make sure the window is not behind you, because what's going to happen is you're going to be a dark, shadowy figure and we're not going to be able to see you. So make sure that the window instead is in front of your face. So in other words, your face is facing the window and the light is shining on your face. And remember, ideally you want to have the wall behind you. There should be a wall behind you. So you may not have that situation, you may not have that set up. So that's where a ring light would really come in handy. Okay, another tip is to make sure you are centered, okay? Make sure you are in the middle of the frame. Am I in the middle of the frame? Okay, should be in the middle of the frame. And you don't wanna be too close or too far away. I'm pretty good. This distance is actually pretty good. It's great to have your shoulders in the frame so that we can see your hands. And if you have any props or you wanna point to anything and you wanna explain anything, we can see what you're doing. So of course, if you're showing a skill, which we're gonna be talking about a little bit later, we wanna make sure that we can see all of you and see the skill that you're trying to show us. So just keep that in mind. Another tip is to dress appropriately. So no, you don't have to worry about wearing a suit, but just make sure you're dressed appropriately, meaning make sure you're not wearing anything that's too revealing. You know, make sure you're not wearing like a nightgown or something like that. It's just a rule of thumb to make sure that you're looking professional, looking presentable, looking your best when you're applying for a job, because that always helps. Okay, another tip I have for you guys is to plan out your video, okay? Because if you plan out your video, you can also ensure, which is another tip, that you are speaking in an engaging way, that you're speaking in a fun, upbeat, positive. So I advise you to do whatever you feel comfortable with. You can either write a script, so like write exactly what you want to say, or you can write bullet points. That also works for people. So you don't want it to be, you know, something that is so rehearsed that you feel nervous or you feel robotic or it feels unnatural, right? You want to speak to the camera like you're speaking to a human being, but it is helpful to plan out what you're going to say. And another thing I want to remind you guys of, when you are crafting your script, the audience is the Outschool hiring team. So you're not speaking to students and you're not speaking directly to parents. You're speaking to the Outschool hiring team. Just keep that in mind when you're crafting your message. Okay, so now that we went over those very important tips, let's dive into the content of these intro videos. Okay, so we know that the video has to be 3 to 5 minutes long. So you're gonna start off introducing yourself. Hi, my name is Christina. You're going to give a little bit of background about yourself, and you're going to start talking about the things that you're passionate about and the things that you want to teach. Once you start to mention the things that you're passionate about and the things you want to teach, then you're going to want to start to build credibility. You want to convince the Outschool team why you are the person that's qualified to teach this particular topic. So think about it. For example, I could say, hi, my name is Christina and I'm interested in teaching hip hop dance lessons. So think about it. Once a parent hears something like that, the first question that's going to pop into their head is, that's interesting. Why is Christina qualified to teach hip hop dance class lessons? So that's one of the first questions that you're going to want to answer. So to build credibility, one of the things you might want to say is, hi, my name is Christina. I'm from New York City. I'm very passionate about the art of dance. I've actually been taking dance class ever since I was 8 years old. I've taken a variety of dance classes, including hip hop dance, salsa dance, jazz dance, etc. So this immediately signals to the audience that you have experience and you know what you're talking about, and it just establishes credibility. So some other ways to establish credibility other than, years of experience are naming any form of formal education that you've had. So maybe you went to Juilliard, which is a performing arts school. So that would be something to mention. Or maybe your mother or your grandmother, or you had a teacher or a mentor that was a professional choreographer that taught you lessons, right? You can explain specifically who you learned from, right? Or where you learned the skill. Another way to establish credibility is to name experiences of you teaching other people. So maybe you've provided private lessons and that particular student got results, right? They went on to accomplish something really great. Or maybe you've taught these skills online. So you might have your own YouTube channel that has 20,000 subscribers. So that's something to mention and establish. Name any other valuable experiences you can think of. So maybe you were in a play, or you were a backup dancer, or you appeared in a music video, anything like that. Okay, so the next tip I have for you guys is to talk about your teaching style or your teaching philosophy. So what do I mean by that? So is your teaching style that you like to ask a lot of discussion questions? Are you more of a person that likes to lecture? Do you ask guiding questions? Do you provide a lot of visual aids? How do you like to engage with your students? So you can say on camera, in terms of my teaching style, I like to engage with my students in XYZ way. Talk about your teaching philosophy. Maybe your teaching philosophy goes something like, I believe that students really only learn through storytelling, so I make sure to incorporate that into all of my lessons. Or I think it's important for students to have fun in the classroom, so I always make sure that I do this or this. Get the idea? Okay, so another tip I have for the content of your video is to show your skill. So what do I mean by that exactly? So if you were interested in teaching dance, for example, I'm just keeping that example throughout here, you might say something like, if I were to teach a class in Outschool, it would definitely be a dance class. Today I'm going to be providing a sample on how to do a pirouette. A pirouette is a turn in ballet. And then I would take the next minute or two to explain this or teach this and show how I would do it in the classroom. Now, I'm actually not a dancer, but I just wanted to provide an example. The same goes for, if you're going to be teaching a piano class, right? You could take a second to play a quick snippet of a song. So whatever it is that you want to teach, you want to show a 1 minute, maybe 90-second sample of how you would teach that. So another tip I have for the content of the intro video is to explain how you will add value to the Outschool community. You can say something like, I'm really excited to teach on Outschool. I think I can provide a different perspective on how to teach dance. Or you can speak to a specific audience that you think you can help to serve. So for example, if you have ADHD, maybe you're a teacher with ADHD and you know how to cater to students with ADHD, you can mention, I think I can really serve students with ADHD. I myself, have grown up with ADHD and know that it's very important to provide a lot of visuals or a lot of whatever it is that you think is important to provide in the classroom. So showing your value or explaining the value that you can add to the Outschool community, I think will really help your video. Okay, other tips for the content of your video. This just really has to do with the tone and the energy that you bring to the camera. So I definitely recommend that you are excited about what you're talking about, that you show that you're very passionate, that you show this upbeat energy, this engaging energy, I feel like. And the reason behind this is that is what is going to attract parents and students to your classes, right? Ultimately, the Outschool hiring team wants to make sure that you're going to provide valuable courses to their students and to their community. And so if you're showing that you're positive and upbeat, and if you're engaging, it really is going to attract more students to your classes. So make sure you're not monotone and feel free to show off your personality, right? They also mentioned that within the Outschool application. Show your personality. If you want to make a joke here or there, you're welcome to do that. Make sure, of course, it's appropriate. Make sure you're professional, but it's totally fine and a plus to show your personality. Also, maybe something you want to do is you may want to show your video to a friend, get feedback from them. And if you want me to be your referring teacher, meaning I will act sort of as your mentor, I'm happy to see your video before you submit it. Again, if you want to apply through my referral link, I'm leaving that below. And you can also email me if you want me to be your referring teacher. Okay guys, that's it for the video tips. Again, if you're looking for a referring teacher, please do not hesitate to use the link below and to reach out to me. I will provide the support that you need to get approved. And check out my channel and subscribe so you don't miss out on any other helpful Outschool videos about the application process. Okay guys, I will see you in the next video.